In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make a bumpy 3D surface using a bump node, and the only input to the node is the texture image. Bump maps are usually black and white, with the light areas having the highest bumps. Change Blender Render to Blend for Web. Click Set Recommended Options. Click the Object Properties button and set the X scale to 2, the Y scale to 2, and the Z scale to 0.1. Drag to make the timeline window bigger and change the window into a UV image editor window. Click the Open Image button. Go to your Blend for Web folder. In previous tutorials, I've used material assets from the Deploy Assets folders. I've used assets from the Dev and Material Library folders. This time, Tutorials, First Person Textures, and click the Thumbnails button. There are some nice textures to play around with: grass, mud, sand. The texture I'm going to use is some dirty planks. There is a normal map, which is the better way of getting a bumpy surface. This tutorial is for when you haven't got a normal map. Click Open Image. Go into Edit Mode, Mesh, UV Unwrap, Cube Projection, and back into Object Mode. The cube had a default material linked to it, and there was a default texture linked to the material. Change the texture type to image or movie. Click both. Change mapping coordinates to UV. Scroll down, click the Browse Image button and select the planks. To use the bump node, we're going to have to make the material using nodes. Change the bottom window to a node editor. Click the Material Nodes button. Click the Material button and click the Use Nodes button. Zoom in with the mouse wheel. Click the Browse Material button and select the material. If I click Fast Preview, Blend for Web does not render the texture. For the texture to be rendered, we must add a texture node. To show what's going on, I'm going to delete the link between the material and the mesh object. Add a new material and make it a node material. Click the Browse Material button and select the new material and move the nodes to the right. Add Input Texture, place the node, select the Wood Planks texture and connect the nodes up. The material takes its color from the texture image, but there is no UV mapping information in the node tree. To add the information to the node tree, add Input Geometry. If the object has a UV map, it is passed on to the texture node. To add a bump node is a vector node, but it's not there. It's not there because it is a cycles node. If we change to cycles render, add vector bump and place the node and change the render back to Blend for Web. Can we do that? Can we use a cycles node? Well, looking at the Blend for Web manual, there is quite a range of cycles nodes that are supported, including the bump node, and a few others partially supported, but they do come with a warning. It is an experimental feature that is not yet recommended for use in the production environment. When we placed the bump node, the connections were made automatically but not correctly. The color should go into the height input and the normal output should connect to the material's normal input. zooming in, the effect is too strong. I'm going to reduce the strength to 0.3. Connecting the color output from the texture node to the color input of the material node, we get our bumpy UV mapped material. Click Fast Preview. That's the end of the tutorial. I'll put the finished file for you to download at my website. Click the link or the eye icon. If you'd like to subscribe, click the link or the stick man. If you'd like to sponsor my tutorials, click the link. Thanks for watching and goodbye.